Our furry friends, who just like their human companions, are at risk of developing depression. This morning, the warning signs that your dog may be feeling down and the tips to get their tails wagging again.
For many of us, the last 2 years have taken a toll on our mental health, but we're not the only ones.
Like people, dogs can get depressed for a lot of the same reasons. So simply a change in the schedule, or moving, or if somebody moves out of the home, or if we lose somebody that's special to us, or if we have a new pet come in.
Experts say our furry friends could be at risk of developing depression, and the signs are familiar.
Often we see signs like they're engaging less with their owners, they might have changes in their appetite, they might be lethargic, sometimes they're less excited to go outside or to play.
But there are ways to help dogs who exhibit symptoms of depression.
Physical activity is a great place to start, and that helps with their overall, their hormone health and their endocrine system, and picks them up and just gets that metabolism working. And that simply makes, animals feel a lot better. Of course, you can do things like training exercises and incorporate puzzles or games into their lifestyle. That helps, with the physical activity, but it's also very rewarding and mentally stimulating and makes them feel better about themselves.
When it comes to maintaining your pet's mental health, prevention is key.
Ways to prevent depression in your dog include, maintaining a regular schedule and consistent activity and enrichment. That really helps just their well-being from day to day.
And with many pet parents returning to the office this spring, Dr. Anton says,
if you are, for example, working from home regularly and now you're going to be going back into the office, something you can do is start making small trips outside of the home and then start being gone for a little bit longer periods and make it this gradual transition. So it's not an all of a sudden black and white, I'm home constantly, to now I'm gone for 40, 50 plus hours a week.
Let's bring in Kate Perry. She's a New York City-based dog trainer and author of Training for Both Ends of the Leash, here to talk about separation anxiety. My dog Walter is here because he loves Kate as well. But separation anxiety is a real thing, especially in this post-pandemic world. You say there are things that we can do at home to help our dogs if they are suffering.
Yes, absolutely. So first of all, thank you for having me. This is such an important topic during this time that we're living in. So the first thing, I always say I'm so glad that you had a vet on before me too, because get a vet check first. Get a health check on the dogs to make sure that there's no underlying conditions and issues. Then what you want to do is, the first thing that I usually suggest is set up a webcam or a video through your phone and get some video evidence of how your dog is behaving while you're not home. A lot of times we'll hear the dogs barking and whining, but sometimes the behavior is also what the trainer needs to see to help give you the best treatment plan. And you want to see how they're really behaving with their anxiety, if they have it. And sometimes they're having a protest bark and not necessarily an anxiety bark. So we want to get the right diagnosis before we get the best treatment plan. And then when you're home, because a lot of us have been working from home, obviously, and we've had our dogs underneath our chairs and sitting on our laps. So the next thing you want to do is practice some distance between you and your dog. So I start with getting a containment area. And a containment area consists of either a gated off area, a playpen, a crate, obviously, if people have been crating their dogs, and you want to start weaning yourself away from your pooches. This is what I call detach with love. Most people start doing the cold turkey effect, where they're just, suddenly out the door and the dog's freaking out, but we've got to wean them off of you. And in that containment area, and I brought a couple of samples, you want to have some really high value occupiers and what I call interactive treat toys. Chewing is a great stress reliever for dogs, right? So that's part of the solution.
Giving them something positive too, so in that separation they don't associate it with something negative.
Exactly, and the containment area needs to be a safe place for the dog. It's not like, okay, now I've got to go back to work, you're going behind the gate and that's it. You've got to wean them into accepting that through feeding, through toys. I like to use a 3-inch hollow sterilized bone. I call it cannoli the bone, where you fill it with some cream cheese or peanut butter and freeze it, and then they, I know, Walter's had one of these, I think.
And it takes them a while to then get through it.
Exactly, and it gives them time, but the key component is to start practicing what I call the detach with love effect, which is have the dog in a separate room in a contained area while you're watching TV, while you're doing a Zoom call. Start giving them some practice. Training is about practice, right? So
Yes, definitely practice. It's hard for all of us. Kate,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.